admitted to bringing him back earlier than he would have liked. He's not match fit, but needs must, and they need some quality, Sunderland, particularly here at home following that thrashing against Manchester United. Kieran Richardson says he's poised to play his full part in Sunderland's revival. Well, now we'll observe a minute's silence, as Sunderland customary do in their last home game of every year, to remember ex-players and loyal fans who passed away in 2007.
To remember all those supporters who are no longer with us, and also pay tribute to former Sunderland players: Johnny Spuler, Albert Snell, Ted Purden, Ian Porterfield, Barney Bircham, John Eaves, William Curzon and Harry Kiteley. The silence will begin and end on the referee's whistle.
Ian Porterfield, scorer of that famous Sunderland FA Cup final goal against Leeds United in 1973, just one of the former players who sadly no longer with us and died in 2007. Referee is Phil Dowd. He's taken charge of Sunderland once so far this season, their 7-1 defeat away at Everton. Sent off 3 players on Boxing Day in that eventful 4-4 draw between Chelsea and Aston Villa. And so it will be Sunderland, who've taken 12 of their 14 points so far this season here at the Stadium of Light, against a Bolton Wanderers side still looking for their first away win of the season. Huge game at the bottom end of the Premier League table. Sunderland start here at 19th, only Derby beneath them. Bolton 15th, but only 3 points separates the two sides. Here's Collins getting forward, linking with their Tuhu. Deflected away off Nolan, and Jääskeläinen committed. Let's get the early thoughts of Gordon McQueen.
Well, you mentioned the Manchester United game, obviously a dent in your confidence when you're getting hammered at home. But for the bottom teams, when they play big teams like United, particularly the form United are in at this moment in time, you take your medicine, get dusted down and get on with it. And they'll be looking at a Bolton side here today that, well, their away form's been absolutely abysmal this season in the Premier League. Not won a match, conceded 20 goals, only scored 7 and picked up a miserable 2 points. So this will certainly be a game that Roy Keane thinks his men can get 3 points.
I'm sure Gary Megson feels the same. You have to simply beat the sides that are around you in the struggle. Roy Keane has admitted for the first time this season that it is a must-win game. This is Whitehead.
It's an interesting little formation at Bolton.
Quentin Jones is onside here. Mate has got back goal side of him. Support taking a while to arrive here for Jones. Now Danny Collins in towards Kenwyne Jones. Gardner got there first. And this is Kevin Nolan.
Well, Kenwyne Jones not taking advantage of there of a very square Bolton back four. Well, just mentioning the set-up, Bolton today expected Gardner to push on into the left-hand side of midfield and Samuel play at left back, but Lloyd Samuel slotting in at right back, very left-sided player. Have to deal with Kieran Richardson today.
This is McCann, Anelka, and Joey O'Brien. This is Andy O'Brien. Nice layoff from Davis. Samuel trying to find Kevin Davis again. He'll get there ahead of Collins. And final touch pulling off Davis.
I was having a little moan at the referee, but the referee was what, foot and a half away. Sorry, the assistant referee, foot and a half away.
Forward by Miller. Sunderland have missed him for the last 3 games. Liam Miller picked up a red card at Chelsea. Missed 3 games since. This is McShane. Despite the fact Sunderland conceded 4 here on Boxing Day, the back 4 and goalkeeper have stayed the same. To who? Whitehead. Another aimless ball forward from J. Lloyd Samuel.
Yeah, it was a poor ball, and it is important that Sunderland do get off to a decent start in this match. Certainly don't want to go a goal behind. Had a few blows of late. You mentioned a bit of a hammering from Manchester United, and of course conceding a couple of last-minute goals in games of late.
The ball was missed in midfield there by McCann, and it's provided a bit of room here for Whitehead. Miller. Ituhu. Cole. Chopper offside.
Yeah, not a lot in it, but just drifted a yard or 2 offside, kept a nice high line, well organised the Bolton back 4 there when this ball does come in. Not a great deal of it, enough for the assistant referee's flag to go.
Scored a penalty at Reading, but it is only 1 goal in the last 18 for Chopra.
I think they find it difficult when they come up from the Championship. It was a big fee. Going rate at the time for players that are scoring a lot of goals in the Championship, £5-6 million. I think they all find it pretty difficult when they step up into the Premier League. Such a tough league to get goals.
Nicely guarded header by Jones for Kieran Richardson. Will feel like a new signing for Roy Keane, even without the introduction of the January transfer window. No scope there for Miller. It's going to be a very interesting January for Keane. Of course, it went all his own way, didn't it, in that marvellous first season as a manager when he led Sunderland to that championship title. But he says it feels like being in a boxing match at the moment. They've taken some blows, some massive ones. They're on the ropes, but we're not down and out yet.
It's such a terrific setup as well. Stadium alike, fabulous ground. Now there's about 43,000 every home game, which is absolutely fantastic. The problem Roy Keane will have at the January transfer window is attracting players to Sunderland. You might be thinking, well, might not be in this division next year.
Stadium of Light is the 4th biggest ground in English football. And Sunderland are averaging close to 43,000 this season, despite the fact that they've struggled more often than not. They too, like Bolton, haven't won away this season.
It puts you under tremendous pressure at home, Kevin, when you're just not picking up anything on your travels. That's why these games become so important. For certainly the home team, Sunderland here today, to pick up the 3 points when, well, points of any kind are so hard to come by away from home.
This is Mate. Nobody pressurising McShane.
It's a Bolton Wanderers side that are, well, at the wrong end of the table at this moment in time. I don't think they'll stay there. I think you've just got to look at the quality of the players they've got in the attacking positions. El Hadj Diouf and Elka, Kevin Davis. And that's a pretty useful front 3. And a front 3 that, in my opinion, well, most definitely keep it up.
Forward by McCann and Juice on the chase. Chopra, who's going to get right back there and do his share of defending. Well, Gary Megson has asked El Hadj Diouf to add more goals to this Bolton team. Seems to be working, 2 in the last 3. think what the Bolton manager is trying to do is to take the pressure off Anelka to be the main supplier of goals. If you're going to get out of trouble, it makes it an awful lot easier if you can find goals from elsewhere around the team, apart from your principal striker.
Well, I don't really know the situation with Nicholas Anelka at this moment in time, but there seems to be an awful lot of speculation regarding his future at Bolton Wanderers. I mean, that would be a massive blow if Gary Megson were to lose him. I mean, you'd be surprised if one of the big boys never the dabbling, get him to join them. Striker of real quality, there's no doubt about that. You mentioned 10 goals, Ken, which is a fantastic tally for this Bolton Wanderers side. Just makes you wonder what he might do playing for a Manchester United or a Chelsea or an Arsenal.
That's the sort of ball where he can be so dangerous. Gavin McCann and the rest of the midfield will be looking for that early ball to exploit that raw pace that Anelka brings.
Although in saying all that about him, he seems very settled and happy at Bolton Wanderers at this moment in time.
Gardner feeding Nolan. Put into a good area here, Kevin Nolan. It may just drop here for Andy O'Brien, who's trying to find Davis. And very nearly did. It was a good piece of defending in the end by Collins. McCann. And Collins is there again. Sunderland looked hesitant and uneasy at the back.
Collins did ever so well there on 2 occasions for his side. Getting a great little block in. And looked a certain goal. Even though the ball wasn't quite clear to come back again, it was Collins again that got the headed clearance. Good defending. Look as if they're in here. Right, Kevin, it's not good defending, but this is terrific commitment. Throwing his left boot into that, clear the danger.
Who used his body well there against Nolan, and then does the good work with a poor pass. Shane with the stretch fully there to work off his own header. It's Kenwyne Jones going for space here for Richardson, who looks for the run here from Etuhu, and the O'Brien hasn't got it out of the danger area really. This is Kieran Richardson. Touch on the chest, too heavy from Etuhu.
Well, I thought Andy O'Brien was just going to guide this header back towards his keeper. He doesn't. He likes to head it clear, what he thinks is for a throw in, but it's not. It's Richardson that keeps it in. Oh, not a great cross. Difficult one for the two to deal with. Don't expect the midfield player to do much about that.
Andy O'Brien has ex-North East connections. Spell, of course, up at Newcastle. J. Lloyd Samuel will take the throw. It's only his second Premier League start since September. No nonsense there from Collins.
There's a couple of players out on the pitch for Bolton today. Joey O'Brien in the middle of the park, who we thought might be playing at right back, Samuel at left back. They're pretty short of match practice. Whether that'll take its toll as the game progresses, to wait and see.
Worked out nicely by Kenwyne Jones into a lot of room here for Dean Whitehead. Now Liam Miller. Chopra. Whitehead again. Jones to meet her. It's brilliant play from Kenwyne Jones, and now it's Kieran Richardson, and Sunderland are in front. 12 minutes gone. Kieran Richardson out nearly all season with a stress fracture of the back. Was the man in the right place to feed off the brilliant service from Kenwyne Jones. Sunderland 1, Bolton 0.
Well, the game bursts into life, certainly for Sunderland, because as attacking force they've not really done anything in this game yet, but fantastic play with the big striker here. Shrugs off a couple of Bolton challenges. Just tremendous strength here. Good pass, Matey just lays it into the path of Richardson, and it's an excellent finish. Jääskeläinen gets his fingertips to it, but the power beats him and the accuracy right into the roof of the net.
£5.5 million Roy Keane paid his old club Manchester United for Kieran Richardson, who's picked up a yellow card for his goal-scoring celebrations. Well, he feels aggrieved about that, but inside he'd be thrilled by scoring his first goal, and a very timely first goal in Sunderland colours for him. It's a shock to the Bolton system. They've settled the better of the two.
Resembling an attack by Sunderland. But when they didn't get one, didn't have to make it pay. It's absolutely terrific play by Kenwyne Jones. Really powerful big striker.
It's a good challenge won by Joey O'Brien against Etuhu. Stroke forward by Nolan. This is Kevin Davis. Now El Hadj Diouf. Shane with the header away, only as far as Gardner. Tries to feed Nolan. Knocked away by McShane. It's a big crowd, it's a demanding crowd, it's a knowledgeable crowd here at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland players and their manager Roy Keane know only too well how beneficial it can be to get them onside early. They've done that.
Well, you just wonder how this Bolton Wanderers side will react. We touched on earlier, the form away from home in the Premier League's been desperate.
Helped in by Gardner. Some time by Collins. Here's Anelka. Knocked away by Higginbottom, and here's Gavin McCann. And that wasn't a bad ball in actually, but maybe just came a touch too early for any white shirts in the middle.
The Sunderland defenders have kept a nice high line there. And Anelka gets the ball earlier, just gets too much on it here, McCann. A good defender again, but Sunderland only got their bodies in there, stop Anelka getting any kind of shot.
Well, he missed 14 Premier League games, 15 in total in his injury absence. And Roy Keane took a gamble. Knows that Richardson isn't match fit, but hoped to get possibly a good hour out of him today. And he's had a very good 15 minutes out of Kieran Richardson so far. Forward by Higginbottom. It was a stoop from Matey.
Yeah, fell down, correct here. Only a couple of feet from the ground there when Matey's trying to head it away. You wonder at this kind of distance, must be tempting. We'll be talking about 30 yards.
Jääskeläinen passed a fitness test on a wrist injury to mean he's out here for 113th successive Premier League appearance. Wonderful servant he's been to Bolton. Beaten already by Richardson, who's now over this free kick, but it looks like Michael Chopra is the man who's going to take charge. There was a possibility of Richardson wrapping his left foot around it. Referee Dowd happy with the distance of that Bolton wall. And it is Chopra. To get down to make the save, on target from Michael Chopra.
Well, he has him scrambling across his goal a bit. We expect a goalkeeper to save them. There's not a great deal of power in the free kick.
Davis. Bit of room now for Joey O'Brien. Cole working hard to get back to prevent him getting forward. Really great effect. Here's Dixon Etuhu finding Kenwyne Jones, who tried to find the smart little turn, but the referee Phil Dowd has Full play back here for a free kick to Sunderland.
Well, initially he's played the advantage there for the two who's waltzing round a couple of players, and Gary Megson having a little word with him now, not happy that he's awarded the free kick. He felt the game had advanced.
He's wearing a smile now. A few seconds ago he wasn't there. Forward by Higginbottom. Chopra. Nice turn from Chopra, but cross is way too heavy for Andy Cole.
Well, he tests the goalkeeper. I suppose you could ask for much more, but when you expect the goalkeeper to save that, not enough power in the shot to really trouble Jaskalainen.
Dominant header, won by Etuhu and then by Jones. And then by Collins. Next up for Roy Keane and Sunderland is a trip to Blackburn Rovers on January the 2nd. Bolton's next match is another big one at the bottom end of the table. They're at home to Derby. That was a little uncomfortable for Jaskalainen. There's a bit of pace on that back pass from J. Lloyd Samuel.
Yeah, certainly fired up now, these Sunderland players chasing everything. That goals gave them a tremendous boost that they needed after the result here last time round.
Lots of room here for Gardner. Disappointing ball forward though from the Jamaican, only as far as Whitehead. Here's Miller. Now McShane. Has gone against Abdoulaye Meite, who knows he's got a job on his hands marking Kenwyne Jones today.
Well, I've seen how strong he was in the ground early when he set up Richardson for the goal, but he's pretty powerful in the air as well. You've got to be on your toes defending against him. You've got to stay physically strong against him, playing against such a powerful lad.
No goals in his last 8 appearances for Kenwyne Jones, but it's in the mix here for Richardson's free kick. It's very comfortable for Jaskalainen. It looks like already, Gordon, that Nixon's almost thinking about a change in his formation. J. Lloyd Samuel has dropped in now at left back, Joey O'Brien to right back, and Gardner pushed up into midfield.
Well, maybe looking for a bit more in the wider areas from Gardner. Neither Samuel or Gardner were getting forward in the positions that they were in, and O'Brien, well, he's more of a holding midfield player than an attacking one. Well, more of a right back than a midfield player.
There's a problem here for Nolan and Etuhu.
Just both clash of heads here. Both players committed, totally accidental. Painful.
Well, there's blood seeping there, it appeared, on the face of Kevin Nolan. Sunderland are going to lose Dixon Etuhu to the African Cup of Nations for a possibility of up to 6 weeks, and he'll be joining up with the Nigerian squad.
I think Bolton are going to lose Nolan here for a few minutes at least. Once the doctor gets busy, no doubt there'll be stitches required there. You just got to make sure while they're down to 10 men, because I want this lad back on. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I want him stitched on back on the pitch. An influential player for Bolton Wanderers.
Down to 10 men, Gordon, and also a goal down.
Yeah, but it's fantastic play here. I mean, you think there's absolutely nothing on. I mean, he's back to goal, 3 Bolton defenders round him, and it's 40 yards for Jaskalainen's goal. I mean, I think it's terrific play with Kevin Jones. I know what Gary Mexon will be saying. Defending was shocking for that goal. Should have been tackled, should have been dispossessed. Well, he wasn't. Just brilliantly to set up Richardson. Just back into the side today. Starting anywhere. Great start for him.
Kevin Nolan has disappeared down the tunnel to get the stitches that Gordon McQueen was alluding to there, and as you saw, Tuhu needing some treatment as well on the touchline. So it's 10 aside at the moment. Here's Samuel, now McCann. Lifted in towards Anelka, got a good touch onto that. Wasn't too far away from Kevin Davis.
Yeah, well, it's 10 aside at the moment while he's got a head injuries get treated. Changed days, it used to be a big dollop of Vaseline and go on with it. Changed days for the better, I might add.
Rest assured, the man alongside me had a few dollops of that as well. Mate. Samuel, this is how we thought Bolton were going to line up, with Samuel at left back and O'Brien at right. Here's Gardner in midfield. Who sprints back on. Still no sign of Kevin Nolan.
Well, I said one of the reasons I felt Bolton Wanderers would stay in this division and stay in it comfortably was the front three, but the front three haven't been in it certainly this game. If this is the way they do play away from it, it's no wonder that they've only picked up 2 points. When they get the ball in the middle of the park, it's some decent service in it, people like Anelka and Diouf, because there's absolutely no doubt they've got the quality to harm you if you give them good service, but that hasn't been the case.
A little word being brought to the ear there of Gary Mexon that maybe that Nolan might struggle to reappear here, the Bolton captain. Joey O'Brien will take the throw here for Bolton. This is Diouf. The word from the Bolton bench is a little more favourable regarding Kevin Nolan, and in fact he's just reappeared from the tunnel. And a look-alike for Gavin McCann now. 2 of them with headbands on. Joey O'Brien. Anelka trying to shake off Whitehead. Gardner's in powerfully. And it's turned away by Danny Higginbottom.
Whitehead does well to get the first header away with Anelka backing into him, and Higginbottom good defender for the second.
J. Lloyd Samuel shaping for the long throw. Kevin Davis will be the target. Sunderland players all around him.
That was a lovely leap there too. I think the player might be a little bit wary. He was just having a little bit of treatment for a head injury. At times that jumped to perfection.
Well, Kevin Nolan has had 6 staples put into that head wound. He leads by example, as does Gavin McCann alongside him there. 2 warriors who will be key to Bolton getting back into this game. This stage last season, Bolton were 5th in the table. 17 or 16 points at that stage, better off than they are now.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happened at Bolton Wanderers this season. They changed their manager after it had been settled for so long over the last few seasons. And the success of Sam Allardyce. parts of the Sammy Lee. But they seem to get back on track with the arrival of Gary Megson.
Comes across from J. Lloyd Samuel, and Danny Collins is well positioned to head away. And Richardson's doing well there to earn a throw off Nolan. I think what Gary Megson has brought back into the Bolton equation is more of their old style, and Sam Allardyce, of course, Sammy Lee trying to turn them into a little bit more of a passing football team, if you like, to take, not being disrespectful, I think, in saying that about Bolton. They play to their strengths, and they played to them very well in the past 4 seasons, but now it's a relegation struggle and a ticking off for Juve.
Well, the ability to mix things up in their game, didn't they? We're down the channels over the top for Anelka, getting the ball to Juve in the wide areas, or getting it up in the air for Davis, and looking for the scraps, looking for the knockdowns. It's something I haven't done a great deal of today. I've tried to find them once or twice from throw-ins, but Sunderland have front screened them, one in front, one behind.
And there's a free kick from Juve, trying to exploit the run there of Gavin McCann. Neatly done by Richardson. It's a push by Tuhu on Gardner.
Well, I know Roy Keane will be pleased that Tuhu never needed any lasting treatment. Never stayed off any longer than he did, because he's been influential in the middle of the park for Sunderland. Covered a lot of ground.
Andy Cole did well under pressure to find Chopra. He's got to go alone at the moment. Now he's got support from Richardson. Whitehead calling for the long cross here from Richardson, who tried to provide it. It's broken instead for Miller. Tuhu. Referee Phil Dowd says nothing wrong with Ricardo Gardner's challenge.
Well, if Kieran Richardson had seen that crossfield pass a bit earlier, I mean, Whitehead had made a really strong run down that right flank, nobody marking him at all, but he did control the ball and have a look up Richardson. Gave Bolton a chance to get organised.
Disappointed with his pass there, Kieran Richardson, but there was a good run off the ball from Jones.
Well, you see White head at the far side of the pitch here, but it's not a good first touch, but Kieran Richardson gets that over to the back post. Bolton could have been in a little bit of trouble.
There's Davis. Under heavy pressure though. Was he manhandling Liam Miller? Yes, says referee Dowd.
Yeah, just leaning into him, pulling him back a bit. Just a chance to, well, try and find the head up. Kenman Jones or Higginbottom attacks the ball pretty well. Paul McShane staying back, or is he going up now? He's another player, might not be the biggest. He's fearless.
Danny Higginbottom has got forward, he's got a couple of goals this season. Centre back brought in back in August in Stoke City, and it was Higginbottom's head that met it. And Jaskalainen, did he get a hand of that and help it over? Yes, he did.
Well, the referee awards a goal kick initially. I think this is this getting in and going to hit the top of the crossbar? Jaskalainen wasn't going to take a chance anyway. Assistant referee awards Sunderland another corner kick.
To be taken by Kieran Richardson. Kenwyne Jones! It's a magnificent header! And the Trinidadian has ended his goal drought in style. Sunderland 2, Bolton Wanderers 0.
Well, both players again involved in the Sunderland goal. This time Kieran Richardson the provider, with a terrific ball whipped into the near post area. We said about the importance of picking Kenwyne Jones up when balls come into the Bolton box, because he really is a powerful lad and a strong header of the ball. Just gets in front of his defender there and directs the header. The pace beats Jaskalainen, and he gets his hands to it, but he can't stop it getting into the back of the net.
Goal number 5 of the season for Kenwyne Jones.
has 4 headers and a shot.
Well, not for a while has Sunderland been in this sort of comfort zone here at the Stadium of Light in recent times. There's Richardson. Lots of room for Whitehead. Important minutes you feel here for Bolton Wanderers. Collins.
Well, I think Roy Keane said you always need that bit of quality in the Premier League, and that's what Kieran Richardson's provided today, coming back into this Sunderland style.
I don't think Whitehead's going to reach that.
He paid a lot of money for the little left winger from Manchester United. And it was a big blow for Roy Keane when he was out injured. Him and Carlos Edwards, who'd made a good impression on the right flank. He certainly made a big impression in this game with the opening goal and the delivery for Kenwyne Jones's header. Well, Kenwyne Jones hasn't done too badly either, has he?
Sunderland full of confidence at the moment. Whitehead's made a run, a decoy run, and try and need some space for Chopra. Miller. Now Collins.
Get him inside! Get him inside! No foul!
Get him inside, I think, was the message coming from Gary Megson down there, who's a little more animated by the second, as well he might be with his side 2 goals down here.
Well, next goal all important. I'm sure Gary Megson knows that. If it's a Sunderland one, well, I don't think Bolton can forget it, taking into account their away form this season. If it's a Bolton goal, I could just give them the lift that they need. Badly need, because it's been a really poor performance for 35 minutes.
Clumsy challenge from Mate is not what Bolton Wanderers needed at this stage of proceedings. It's going to be floated in by Liam Miller. Well, he might be a little bit unfortunate there, you know, Ricardo Gardner. It looked to me on first viewing like McShane just launched his body into Gardner.
Well, it just looked like me 2 players totally committed to try and get in the ball. No, I don't. Is that a free kick at all? I'm not so sure it is.
It's very harshly done to there, Gardner.
There's a chance for Richardson to put in a...
Look at the face of McShane there. He knew he bought that free kick for his team.
That was a left-footed corner kick, free kick this time.
In by Richardson, and it wasn't a bad attempt, you know. If it had a dip on it, it certainly had the velocity to trouble Jääskeläinen.
Well, that's exactly what he attempted. He went for the back corner up Jääskeläinen's goal here. You know, you'd think, well, try and find your striker. He's desperate for this ball to come in. He's just scored with a terrific header. Give me a chance at another. Kieran Richardson had other ideas.
Davis doing well against Higginbottom. Bolton players just have to remain strong mentally here. They do have a sinking feeling though about life away from the Reebok. 10 goals conceded in the last 3 away games, all defeats. 2-0 down here to next to bottom Sunderland. Here's Nolan. Away by Etuhu. Samuel.
Yeah, you just get into runs when you think, well, we're just never going to win away from home. You must be feeling that right now, especially when your players are doing things like that. Simple, straightforward pass. Looking at the turf, it wasn't a turf, Nicholas. Just lack of concentration.
Sunderland fans reminding their manager that they're still well and truly behind him here.
Well, I think the fans here at the stadium knew it was going to be a long, hard slog for Roy Keane and his players this season. Got to get behind the team regardless of the results. I've had some poorish ones of late, but I've got right behind their side today, and their side have responded magnificently.
Well, they have certainly added Sunderland to their fan base with the arrival of many from Ireland to support the famous Roy Keane from Cork. Many from that part of Ireland now tied their allegiances to Sunderland. This is Gardner. Slipped trying to make the smart turn. Here's Kenwyne Jones.
Well, the switch that Bolton made just never worked at all with pushing Gardner further forward. He's never been in an advanced position to get a ball into the box.
They're just not helping themselves, Bolton, with a lot of clumsy challenges.
Well, you don't want to be giving too many of these away. It just sticks out a leg here. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt it's a free kick. It's a chance to get this right into the heart of the Bolton box. Really try to push up, keep a really high line here, because they know about the threat of Kenwyne Jones and Higginbottom and McShane at the back post there. I mentioned earlier, really attacks the ball.
And by Miller, as he headed away for Joey O'Brien. Rain tippling down here at the Stadium of Light. Grey, colourless day. Two words that want to sum up Sunderland and Bolton seasons so far. But looking a good deal brighter for the home team just at this moment in time. Mate. Samuel. Davis squeezed down the line here for Nolan. McShane facing him. Gardner. Clear foul by Miller. Bolton will get both Andy O'Brien and Abdoulaye Mate forward for the free kick.
I think he'll just flight this to the back post. It looks too wide, too far out for Diouf to be having an attempt at goal over. Could skip off the surface. Gets it up and down behind the wall.
Good movement there from O'Brien and Kevin Davis. It's gone straight in. Well, did it get a touch off anyone? El Hadj Diouf might be wanting to claim it. Without doubt, though, Bolton are back in it. It's 2-1.
Well, I don't think he attempted this. Kevin Davis causing all sorts of problems in there. Always worried about the aerial threat he poses, but nobody deals with it. Getting pushed back here. And I think Craig Gordon thinks that Davis is going to make contact with it. He doesn't. Beats Davis and beats the keeper.
It looked like it got the merest of touches off Paul McShane, but no one will want to take that away from El Hadj Diouf, I don't think. If it does stand in his favour, it's 3 in the last 4 now for the Senegalese.
Well, that's a huge hammer blow for this Sunderland side, because, well, they were cruising up until then. Bolton Wanderers just had not been attacking threat at all. And I would have thought, and for a bit of a rollicking from the manager Gary Megson at half-time because of that performance, now all of a sudden they're relaxed. Very happy Roy Keane. Well, maybe not so relaxed now. I said earlier, all important, the next goal in this match, and it's Bolton that's got it.
And he won't want an OG on his CV. It just was a very, very slight deflection off the head of McShane. Here's Diouf. Springing the step now of Bolton. Samuel. Gardner. Diouf. Joey O'Brien. El Hadj Diouf. Rollins will get there.
Yeah, a little bit harder on Sunderland, particularly defenders, because they've defended really well for the majority of this first half. It's got a little bit deep in that free kick from Diouf come into the penalty box. But the defending other than that has been terrific. Anelka, Davis, Diouf, not really at a sniff. Bolton find themselves back in the game. Yeah, when this comes in here, Craig Gordon keeping his eye on the ball. Oh, just runs through the hair of Paul McShane. Might have had a chance of getting that, Craig Gordon, if it hadn't.
Well, Sunderland have been averaging 2 goals a game in terms of conceding this season. A few too many for Roy Keane's liking, and Bolton having a good end to the half, but it started poorly for them. Kevin Nolan trying their best to dry the ball, the rain still coming down. Decides against the long throw and finds Joey O'Brien. This time Nolan might decide on piloting this one in long. Touch, I think, of Cameron Jones. It's a corner to Bolton. Their fans behind the goal Sunderland are defending in this first half. In by Diouf. Took a little bit of a risk there, J. Lloyd Samuel. It's Mate trying to find Andy O'Brien. It's going to be 2 minutes of time added on at the end of the first half. The referee thought about blowing the whistle, and it's an unfortunate one that for Bolton Wanderers. There was a foul on Ricardo Gardner, but Phil Dowd did play a good advantage.
Well, I'd have thought Roy Keane had been pretty happy with his team's first half performance, particularly Richardson and Cameron Jones. Looked dangerous up front, back four's been solid. Yeah, they did slip up a bit for the Diouf goal, or will it be a McShane goal? Leave that one up to Diouf's goals panel. I think Diouf will be disappointed if he doesn't get awarded it. It's a Bolton Wanderers side that have been very disappointed, but just burst into life at the end of this first half.
Nice touch from Davis, not good enough though. Turned away by McShane. And the goal is offside rather than the challenge he produced. Stoppage time then at the end of the first half as Higginbottom, and a real pressure there from Davis. Kevin Nolan's going to settle for a corner.
Well, that's the type of play that Bolton Wanderers became renowned for. Long ball, played into Nolan, centre forward, into Davis. Doesn't always win them, but neither does the central defender.
In by Diouf. Away by the head of Whitehead. Here's Andy Cole, finding Chopra. Good support run from Whitehead. Chopra though couldn't get beyond Ricardo Gardner. It's going to be a Bolton free kick.
Oh, he just dwelled on the pass there. Whitehead's away and Bolton are in real trouble.
Chopra's foul has invited more pressure onto that Sunderland defence. The crowd have got somewhat nervy here in the last few minutes. In by J. Lloyd Samuel. Out by Higginbottom. Phil Dowd says that will do for the opening half, which started very well for Sunderland. Cameron Jones heading in from a Kieran Richardson corner to make it 2-0 after Richardson, in his first start since August, bagged the first after a brilliant setup by Kenwyne Jones. But just close to half-time, El Hadj Diouf's free kick seemed to go clean in on replay, a slight touch off the head of Paul McShane, but El Hadj Diouf will want to try and claim it. And still all to play for in this huge match at the bottom end of the Premier League. It's Sunderland 2, Bolton 1 at half-time.
West Ham 0, Manchester United 1.
Welcome back to the Stadium of Light. This is Grant Leadbitter, the Sunderland-born midfield player who's going to replace Michael Chopra at the start of the second half for Sunderland, who have the lead here by 2-1. It is the first time, incidentally, Sunderland have scored twice in a game since they managed it at Arsenal back in October in a 3-2 defeat. Well, Bolton Wanderers' away form so far this season has been wretched. Just 2 points from a possible 27 from drawn games at Derby and West Ham. But the way they finished the first half for Gary Mixon's side was encouraging. They got that goal, which might eventually be credited to El Hadj Diouf, after Kieran Richardson and Kenwyne Jones had put Sunderland firmly in the driving seat. So it was an interesting and very important 45 minutes of football ahead of us here at the Stadium of Light.
I think Roy Keane was pretty pleased to hear the half-time whistle as well, get his players in, get organised for the second half, because Bolton did finish the half strong, put the Sunderland side under a lot of pressure, and he just changed things around a bit the second half. Leadbitter come on this right-hand side for Chopra, maybe thinks he can deal with the change that Bolton made earlier on, putting Gardner left-hand side in the middle of the park. Maybe a little bit more defensive-minded Leadbitter than Chopra.
In by Andy O'Brien, towards Kevin Davis, won well by Higginbottom, sliced by McCann. Here's Davis. Did well to squeeze the pass out there to Gavin McCann. Bolton on the front foot in the early moments of the second half.
You just saw good Kevin Davis when he gets the ball in and around his body, back to go inside his opponent's penalty box. It's just so difficult to knock off the ball. I mean, he's not prolific in terms of scoring goals, but he does create mayhem in opponents' penalty boxes.
Work here for Kenwyne Jones, pressurised by Andy O'Brien. Bolton have their tails up here. It's going to be El Hadj Diouf with the corner. Jones with a prodigious leap, back in by McCann. Away this time by McShane. Gardner. Miller running out of space. It'll be a throw here for J. Lloyd Samuel.
Well, started the second half the way they finished the first, putting a Sunderland defence under pressure.
It's a smart turn by Andy Cole away from Mate, and he's poked out an interesting pass here for Richardson, who goes for goal, and a fine save by Jääskeläinen.
Oh, it's in as well. That's in the back of the net. It's a terrific strike by Richardson, and a really good bit of goalkeeping. Sunderland just hit this Bolton side in the counter-attack here. Doesn't look a lot on for Kieran Richardson there. He's looking up well. Can he hit him in the middle? No, just have a shot, and gets a real bit of swerve on the ball as well. It's a terrific attempt and a great bit of goalkeeping.
Could turn out to be a very crucial save from Jääskeläinen It's Liam Miller with the Sunderland corner. Away by Davis. Forward quickly by Whitehead and offside. Miller. There's no doubt Kieran Richardson brings different options for Roy Keane. That's why he's thrown him back in quickly after that lengthy absence with a back injury. He may not last the full 90 here, but whilst he's out there determined to be a key part in this football match. Higginbottom calling out Gordon.
Well, Kieran Richardson's got that extra bit of quality that maybe some of the other players here at Sunderland don't have. He can produce that something a bit special, and nearly did there. Jaskalainen and the Bolton goal, up to it.
Here's Richardson again. Diouf. Used Joey O'Brien as a decoy in towards Anelka, and easy take for Craig Gordon. Andy Cole. Ledbetter, second half substitute for Chopra. No risks taken by McShane.
Well, I think they'll be looking to get the ball up to Andy Cole. For Andy Cole to use all his experience, and he's got plenty of that, to hold the ball up, to alleviate the pressure on the Sunderland back four. Just keep possession for Sunderland higher up the pitch.
Header on by Nolan. Here's Richardson. Doesn't want to be dribbling there. Kieran Richardson, and that could be costly. Here's Anelka looking for Diouf, and a very important challenge from Ledbetter.
Well, it's 5v3 there. Kieran Richardson. And look at his own side, real trouble there. Great play by Ledbetter. Bails his wide man out.
In comes a corner from Diouf. It's going to drop here for Anelka. Blocked by Higginbottom. But it's all Bolton in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Not the touch that J. Lloyd Samuel was looking for.
Well, you've got to think that Sunderland need another goal in this game. Because the way things are going, I fancy Bolton to get one.
That's exactly what that mind might be thinking right at this moment. By McShane. Here's Nolan. Real belief about Bolton now. Samuel. Strong challenge by Ituhu. And Diouf frustrated at his attempts to win the ball back. He's been penalised.
I don't see a lot wrong. He's having a little tug at it to her.
Kevin Jones will be the target here for Higginbottom's free kick. Ituhu, Whitehead, Ledbetter. Fortunate there, McShaney. Just look a little bit hesitant when he's in possession, the Sunderland centre-back. This is Whitehead. Miller. And the assistant referee had given a throw Sunderland's way, but Phil Dowd thought his challenge was worthy of a free kick Bolton's way.
Probably was a free kick as well, but it was assistant referee that had the better view of the two.
Strong header one there by Jones. Nicole's misdirected header though. That's another chance. This time picks out Richardson.
All got a bit frantic at the start of the second half of this game. Sunderland desperate to hold on to what they've got. All really pushing for that equaliser.
A little inquiry there from Kenwyne Jones to referee Dowd that there might have been some pushing from Samuel. Sunderland have momentum though. Whitehead leading towards Andy Coates. A good pass as well. And Cole's getting away here from Andy O'Brien. Here's Ledbetter.
The central defender's fortunate he gets away with that, Andy O'Brien. Let Andy Cole get the wrong side of him. He'll get his shot away the striker.
Davis did well to guide his header into the path of Anelka. Juve is wide of him. Juve looking to take on Danny Collins. Support from Joey O'Brien, but Liam Miller's doing a good tracking job there to support his left back.
An important one as well. The full back's in, just looking up, with plenty of support in the box. If he didn't get a decent delivery in, Liam Miller tracked him the whole way.
Throw here from Kevin Nolan, found its way through to Davis. Sunderland haven't got it away via Whitehead. A slight deflection, and it was kind in the end for Gordon.
Yeah, no real power in the shot anyway, but any power that was on it, the deflection took the power away.
There's movement on the Bolton bench, and Danny Guthrie is being ready to come on for Bolton Wanderers. We hear that J. Lloyd Samuel is going to be the player to depart, and that might mean a retreat back to left back for Ricardo Gardner. Guthrie there is a midfielder on loan for this season from Liverpool. Talking there with Archie Knox, the assistant manager of Bolton. Miller. Jones well into nick possession there, but eventually Bolton are able to come away with it. This is Kevin Davis. Anelka. Away by Higginbottom. Now he's got isolated here with Mayte Jones. Just wanted to get into that loping stride of his. That might have been interesting.
Yeah, because if you nudge the ball away from Mayte, get your body in front of him, you're not going to catch Kenwyne Jones.
Substitution for both teams now. This is Danny Guthrie then, as we mentioned, coming on for J. Lloyd Samuel.
Well, I don't know whether he's picked up some kind of knock or not, but he has missed an awful lot of football through injury. Played both full-back positions today. Started off at right back.
Coming on for Sunderland is Daryl Murphy, who's going to replace the veteran 36-year-old Andy Cole, still waiting for his first Sunderland goal, and replaced by a man who's been strongly linked with a move away from Sunderland in the January transfer window. Apparently Queen's Park Rangers are tracking Daryl Murphy. Another throw here for Dean Whitehead. Decent ball in there to the feet of Kenwyne Jones. Just found the angle against him.
I think he tries a shot here as well. Just uses his body strength again. Mate takes up a poorish position. I think he tried to beat Jessica Line at his near post there. So just to whiz that across the 6-yard area. Kieran Richardson waiting there for one.
As expected, Ricardo Gardner has dropped in to left back again since the departure of J. Lloyd Samuel. Forward by Mayte. Guthrie. It's a little short for Gardner. He wouldn't have appreciated that. Here's McCann. Strong work there from Miller, and Sunderland a free kick.
Well, it's a time when you need to use your substitutions well. Players getting tired, a lot of games over the festive period, a lot of games full stop in a short space of time. Important to use fresh legs. One or two players getting a little bit weary out there.
This is Guthrie. Whitehead doing a good job for his side there. Continues to do a good job, the captain, for his manager in an unaccustomed right back role. This is Joey O'Brien. Get one here by Anelka. There's McCann. Lots of room left side for Guthrie if Gardner can shuffle it forward. Now he's closed down by Ledbetter. Run by Davis, but plenty of time for the McShane clearance. Mate. Now Richardson. Higginbottom. Sunderland not found any rhythm in the second half.
Now, when you know what your ball's up to strikers, there need to be better ones than that. The ball's going to come straight back at you, and you're going to have Bolton attacking you again, and that's exactly what's happening just now.
Kevin Davis bided his time there, invited the foot in from Collins. Not too many sides better in the Premier League from long throw situations. Kevin Davis is always at the heart of them. He'll be the target again. This time he loses out though to challenge from Collins. Back in again, and the header from Anelka struck Diouf. Tell you what, he wasn't too far away. There were appeals for handball in there.
Well, he knows exactly what he's doing here, Diouf. He wasn't set particularly well to attempt the shot, but when the ball comes over, falls nicely for him, it hits off his body. He's got to adjust his body and try and bend it. Craig Gordon's left hand post. He's got too much on it.
I don't think, Gordon, there was any suggestion of the use of a hand by Anelka, who was challenging for the initial ball in. Kevin Jones got himself a little knock amidst all that, but he's okay.
Well, they seem to just freeze there, the Sunderland defenders. Whether they were fearing the worst, I thought it should have been a free kick.
Was backing out of that between Messrs Collins and McCann. Beyond the hour mark at the Stadium of Light, where Sunderland have picked up 12 of their 14 points so far this season. It's a similar story for Bolton at the Reebok. 15 of their 17 total have been claimed at home, but they might just feel there's some pickings for them here. Gary Migson's side today. Signs are good. Nolan.
Right at this moment in time, Roy Keane would be absolutely delighted with a 2-1 victory for his side.
This is a strong run forward from Joey O'Brien, away by Higginbottom. Controlled well there by Miller. Approached it into space here for Ledbetter. Only Murphy ahead of him. Kevin Jones has just crossed the halfway line at the moment. It's Etuhu who's trying to pick out Murphy and fails to do so.
Well, he does do a lot of good work in the middle of the park too, but quite often lets himself down in the final ball there. And that was a pretty straightforward pass to his wide player. Did well to break forward in the first place, but the pass was a poor one.
Yes, I think of his distribution matched his strength. Jackson Atuhu would be some player. Every side needs powerful midfield presence. Atuhu has that, but here's Lepitu, who's a better passer of the ball, and Murphy doing well to keep this alive for Sunderland. Juve is defending. There's use of an arm, was it? No, offside is being given against Daryl Murphy.
Yeah, I think all the way to the ball reached Murphy, then he became active.
Irish striker whose future is to be decided perhaps in January. A few come into that category, of course. There's been a lot of talk about Nicolas Anelka going to Chelsea, who in the absence of Didier Drogba may well be casting envious eyes on this man. Gary Megson would let him leave the Reebok over his dead body, I suspect. Nolan, Anelka. Turned the wrong way there. Run into Liam Miller. Hard-working Liam Miller, who's getting through a prodigious amount of work in the Sunderland midfield.
Yeah, he just never went for the obvious there, Anelka, did he? Danny Guthrie made a good break down the right. He tried to change the direction of the play by putting his foot on the ball. He never fooled Miller.
Crowd today is just under Sunderland's average this season in the Premier League. It's a little over 42,000. This is Joey O'Brien. It's dropping here for McCann. Again Joey O'Brien. This time Whitehead in the way. Here's Kenwyne Jones. Worked it nicely with Leadbitter. Is Jones going to have a run here at Mate? Well, he tried it.
It's been a fair old battle that. And the big powerful centre half and the equally powerful centre forward. The centre forward come out on top.
Just one win in 13 for Sunderland going into this match. Bolton have had the better of the recent form of these two. They've rattled in plenty of goals in the last two home wins against Wigan and Birmingham. But both these clubs are going to have to improve their respective away records to make fear of the drop a distant one come the final furlong of the season. Forward by Mate. Here's Leadbitter. It was late by Davis. And Kevin Davis is going to pick up a yellow card here, and it's a costly one for him as well. It's his fifth yellow card, and that means that Kevin Davis will now miss the FA Cup home tie against Sheffield United. He'll sit out that third round FA Cup tie at the Reebok.
Well, pretty easy decision here for Phil Dowes, isn't it? I'm a little bit frustrated. Yeah, tackle from behind, doesn't get the ball. Well, no doubt what that was going to be.
Here's Murphy. Strong run from the substitute. Was he being obstructed? Yes, he was, in the opinion of Phil Dow.
Well, it's a chance for Sunderland to get a ball into the Bolton danger area here. It's a good positive run forward. I think Guthrie just leaning into. Well there, free kick, maybe a chance for Kenwyne Jones, McShane, Higginbottom, Atuhu. A lot of heavyweights in there for both sides.
It's Liam Miller who's going to flight in the free kick. Struck Higginbottom. Not much he could have done with that, really. Here's Miller. Forward by Guthrie. McCann. Melka, very deep. Slid forward to Kevin Davies, who protected it well, and Shane with the covering header, and away comes Liam Miller. His game's really stretched here. Bolton chasing this equaliser. And here's Kenwyne Jones. Gallagher who wanted the pass, and Jones is a little fortunate to get a free kick at the end of that, challenged by McCann.
Well, that all started with a poor Guthrie pass. Should have rolled it out to McCann, never. Sunderland tried to hit him in the break. McCann tried to get back, he's ran a long way. The right corner flag ends up with a little bit of heavy breathing there, a bit tired. Lazy tackle on Jones.
Oh, there's going to be a good ovation now. You can hear it for Kieran Richardson. Sunderland fans haven't seen much of him since his £5.5 million move from Manchester United. A stress fracture of the back. It's a worrying injury for any footballer. Nowhere near match fit. Roy Keane decided to throw him in. He got his first goal in Sunderland colours after 12 minutes of the first half, and it could still turn out to be a very important one. On in his place, Roy O'Donovan.
Well, on for 70 minutes, and certainly an influential 70 minutes. I thought he was excellent, took his goal really well. One great shot in the second half, it could have been a third. If it were not for a terrific Jessica Line and save.
In towards Higginbottom. He didn't begin to time his jump. His birthday today, by the way. He's 29. 3 points would be the best present, I think. Whitehead won't go back to Gordon. He's under pressure from Anelka, and he only found Juve. Whitehead got the initial challenge in, and Sunderland haven't got it away convincingly. Back in by Anelka. Final touch, in the opinion of the referee, came off Kevin Nolan, a limping Nolan.
Well, Whitehead as well there when Juve runs at him inside the box. Sometimes you flick a leg out and the ball's not there. Penalty kick. But he didn't. Stood his ground. Juve ran straight into him. Certainly been the livelier of the two today. Anelka have been pretty quiet for Bolton Wanderers. Never really had any shots that have troubled Craig Gordon.
Strong header forward by McShane, dealt with well by Gardner.
And even for all the pressure that Bolton have had since they told a goal back, Craig Gordon hasn't had a great deal to do it.
Good advantage played there by Phil Dowd. There was a foul by Guthrie on Miller. This is Murphy. Whitehead's got himself into a bit of a tight spot here. It's a fine line now, isn't it, about players concentrating, having that strong mentality and not switching off. Collins was in the wide away club there.
Now that is confident defending when you're hanging on to your one goal lead.
McShane's doing his best to keep his footing. He's a wholehearted customer, Paul McShane, but like the rest of these Sunderland defenders, has found this step up from the Championship against the quality on show in the Premier League. It's a mighty big leap. It's the only place to play, they'll tell you. Stelios is going to come on now for Bolton to replace Kevin Davis. Sunderland won't be too unhappy to see the back of Davis.
No, I think you see Kevin Davis going off right away. I think, well, won't cause us some same problems at throw-ins for a start. The long ball won't be effective against us. No Kevin Davis. And there again, he'll get Stelios, he'll go over that right hand side, and he is capable of beating a defender, getting a good cross in and scoring a goal or two.
Sunderland have created a bit of a record this season of scoring goals late on in matches. They will hope for the opposite today and they don't get stung at the other end in the final moments. We're not quite at that stage yet, a little over a quarter of an hour left. Gardner wants somebody a little closer to him, I think, here. Here's McCann. The one by Collins. Joey O'Brien. This is Mate. Straight onto the head of Collins, who's able to pick out Murphy. Collins again. Roy Keane won't be too happy about that cheap possession given away there by his left back. Forward by McCann. Controlled well by Guthrie.
Well, they've been dominating possession this second half, Bolton Wanderers. Giving a goal away far too easily, Sunderland, putting themselves under real pressure. Although Bolton Wanderers not really taking any great advantage. Craig Gordon still not over busy.
The lone figure in the centre circle is Joey O'Brien. He's going to ask a lot of Nelcombe. He's come himself onto the end of it. It's a really good header into the danger area, but a shove by Andy O'Brien. And that's relief for the home side.
That was a silly free kick to give away when the ball's coming back into the danger area like that. There was no need to do it. And Anelka's stretched now, you think he's not going to get it, but he gets ahead to it. And that could have been a problem when there's plenty of Sunderland shirts in there. It just might have been a problem if Andy O'Brien doesn't give the free kick away.
On by Jones. O'Donovan looking to capitalise on the slip by Gardner, who then has got a free kick. Once again the assistant referee on this near side at odds with the referee Phil Dowd. You have to say his assistant was much closer to that incident, and Phil Dowd's given a free kick Gardner's way.
I thought Gardner was stumbling here in the first place when it's a recovery tackle. Well, I think that's a corner kick to Sunderland.
Suggestion from all and sundry is that Phil Dowd got that one wrong. Mate is really strong there against Kenwyne Jones. This is Danny Guthrie, clever. Now Joey O'Brien. Stelios. Support from his captain Nolan, that's who he tried to find, and that was an important win of the ball there from Andy O'Brien. Sunderland fans urging some tackles in here. You can sense the tension building, Gordon.
Well, I think the Sunderland defenders have been so resilient as well. They really have stood their ground under an awful lot of pressure. They've been on the back foot ever since Bolton get back into this game. They've stood firm, they've been strong, there's been fantastic commitment from Higginbottom, from McShane. Even more defending to do now.
Mate, O'Brien, Nolan, Anelka, all potential targets of the free kick, and the flag is up on the far side.
Oh, it's a good delivery in as well. That is a good delivery.
Here's O'Donovan finding Liam Miller. Now Daryl Murphy wants a bit of support from Collins, and he's outside. Isn't exactly forthcoming, so Murphy instead links with Miller. Now at Tuhu, now it is Collins. Higginbottom offside.
I see that's when they need to do better, Sunderland, there's no doubt about that. They go out and get the ball at the striker's feet, they keep possession of the ball, you keep possession in your opponent's half, give your defenders a breather, because we said they've not cracked yet, but with the amount of pressure Bolton are applying, they just may well do.
Free header there for Danny Collins, straight though to Joey O'Brien. Again, what a good ball out from the back from Collins. This is going to be launched by Jääskeläinen. Sunderland arms raised for a possible offside, no flag forthcoming. Ricardo Gardner can almost reach out and grab the tension here now. It's such an important game for both clubs.
Well, it's got a cup tie feel about it now. People like Andy Bryan, the Bolton central defender, has pushed forward and stayed forward.
It's off Etuhu and out for a Bolton throw. No Kevin Davies to hit now, so Andy O'Brien will be the target for Kevin Nolan. Jufu climbed for it, it almost broke there for Andy O'Brien. Not a Sunderland player anywhere near the halfway line, and Jääskeläinen is going to put some distance on this one again. Gardner. Until the last 10 minutes at the Stadium of Light. 3 points separating Bolton and Sunderland in the table. 4 places. Bolton in 15th. Sunderland desperate for something here next to bottom. Final touch. There's a judge to have been a Sunderland one. Whitehead. And Nelker's wanting handball, I think.
He's seen it run down the arm of Dean Whitehead here.
It's due for the corner. Got a good flick on at the near post as well from McCann. And the grateful long arms of Craig Gordon to Sunderland's rescue.
Well, this ball will just go forward. It'll probably come straight back again, because that's what every long ball's done so far in this half. Just everybody behind the ball for Sunderland, desperate to hold on to the 3 points that they've got. They know how important it is. It'll be an absolutely huge 3 points for Sunderland if they can get them today. And they've been under constant pressure this second 45, and more pressure now, so they've gave away another free kick.
A big shake of the head from Roy Keane when Etuhu was penalised. The Sunderland manager turned away to his technical area in frustration. And that, look at that reaction. He's telling the story. He produced many similar challenges like that in his own day, but was this a handball against Dean Whitehead, the Sunderland captain?
Well, Anelka's saying it run down his arm here. Well, it comes off it, his left knuckle, but couldn't give a penalty against him for that, surely.
I'm not even sure that any of the officials, none of the officials would see that, because his arm was across and the chest of Anelka. There's no way the officials could have spotted that one, even if they were tempted.
He's just picking up a little knock here, Kevin Nolan. I mean, that's obstruction via Tuhu.
He's been in the wars a bit, Kevin Nolan. He won't take any part in the El Hadj free kick. But there are 6 white shirts in and around that Sunderland penalty area, looking for some quality here from Juve. There isn't any. It's out as far as Gardner. Missed by Murphy. Here's El Hadj. Useful ball in. McShane with a really important header. Only out as far as Gardner. Sunderland just can't get out at the moment. Mate. Stelios. Lots of room here for Ricardo Gardner. Lots of arms raised for a ball in early. Diouf taking on Murphy. It's a corner.
Gets a corner, some good work there by Diouf. Great ball in, and once again a terrific defensive header by Paul McShane. But just piling on the pressure here, Bolton Wanderers. But this Sunderland side aren't going to crack. They've been so resilient.
In by Diouf. Firmly out via Whitehead. Fans desperate for Sunderland to pick up possession. They just can't do so at the moment. It's coming back from Gardner. Away by Itsuhu. Still Sunderland can't get genuine possession. It's not the header Gardner was looking for. Guthrie's kept it in. Murphy tussling here with Guthrie, the latter the winner.
I think the Sunderland fans are getting a little bit frustrated at times when the ball comes out from their defence into attack. There's absolutely nobody there because everybody's behind the ball. But these players are giving Roy Keane absolutely everything they've got here, clinging on to the 3 points that they've got time being.
Whitehead winning the header. And Sunderland will be in no hurry, rest assured, to take this throw in. Roy Keane must have been going through some nervy moments, but he has been saying exactly what Gordon was saying there, getting the best out of his players. He's felt all season long, but he knows he needs an injection of genuine Premier League quality in the January transfer window, and he knows his chances of attracting better quality in January come with more positive results, and they're edging closer, 5 minutes away from a very positive one. Andy O'Brien's playing as a centre forward now. He's turned away from any defensive thoughts.
Well, I wouldn't sign any players with any more heart than this. Certainly his back four have got Collins, Higginbottom, McShane, Ledbetter. Well, they've been so gutsy. It's been such a gutsy performance for Sunderland because they must be on their knees. They've had so much defending to do in this game.
This is O'Donovan trying to break into that penalty area. It's an excellent cover though from Gardner. Ledbetter keeps the ball in Bolton territory. Eats up a few more vital seconds. Ivan Campo is about to come on for the last few minutes for Bolton. Header on by Andy O'Brien. McShane's had an excellent second half. And they're coming together there between McShane and Diouf.
I don't see anything wrong with that at all. What he just took exceptionally something McShane said, something he did. Well, I didn't see anything.
He lives on the edge, doesn't he, Gordon? As we know, Diouf, he could have an argument in an empty room.
Well, he's bound to be getting a bit frustrated as well because he's seen one Bolton attack after another end up with the guy that he's getting booked for a little spat with, either heading it clear or booting it clear. He's put in a real performance today in the heart of the Sunderland defence. Might not be the prettiest defender to watch at times, but nobody can question his commitment.
Only a yellow card for El Hadj in that incident. Long throw in from Campo. Higginbottom rather upwards rather than distance away. And in the end, referee Phil Dowd has awarded Sunderland a free kick.
Well, no doubt Roy Keane, well, he's looking at the pitch. It must be a great temptation to look up at that scoreboard. The clock's ticking a bit pretty slowly for him, and you've got to think there's going to be a fair bit added time as well.
And the scoreboard will tell him that there are a little over 2 minutes of normal time remaining.
battered them, Sunderland's second half, but showed no great imagination in their attacking play, Bolton.
Gary Megson hoping against hope. He can pick up a third away point of the season now. It's the best he can hope for, I think. Final touch off Kenwyne Jones.
I think Bolton Wanderers would have picked up more away from home if they'd showed the positive attitude they've shown in this second half here.
Here's O'Donovan. It's given away needlessly there by Ledbetter. So nervous, the Sunderland players. They're so desperately close to only their second win in 14 games. Mate launches another one forward in towards Anelka. Here's McCann, drove it well. Stelios trying to set up Anelka. Sunderland with some desperate defending. Joey O'Brien.
And I put the bodies in the line for the manager today. There's been one terrific block after another.
Joey O'Brien. Sunderland defence stays in deep. Move towards Andy O'Brien, out as far as Gardner. He's given it away to Ledbetter. Now needs to show a bit of composure, can't do so. Getting an earful from Roy Keane, Grant Ledbetter, for giving the ball away cheaply there. Forward this time by McCann. We're into stoppage time, and there are going to be 3 minutes. There's work here for Whitehead. Can't get it away though. The flag is up. And Sunderland mighty relieved to see that.
The last 20-25 minutes or so, I thought Bolton might have varied it a little bit. You know, it's all been this kind of stuff. Route one, and of course there's no Kevin Davis on the pitch, substituted earlier in this half. And Sunderland have dealt pretty well, maybe a bit desperately at times, but showed fantastic commitment. Never really get any great width or any great passing going second half. It's all been pretty long stuff, but still a bit of life in this game yet.
Header on by Jones, onside here is Daryl Murphy. Can he finish it now? Yes, he can! Roy Keane has 3 big points. A smile passes the lips of the famous Irishman, and it's an Irishman who delivers after a nervy 20 minutes or so for Sunderland. It's Daryl Murphy, and it's 3-1.
Well, once again it's Kenwyne Jones winning the head up. Drags the ball away from goals Daryl Murphy. You think the angle's a little bit tight, but good control with the thigh, and smashes it past Jaskalainen. Roy Keane, Sunderland fans and Sunderland players can breathe. Great sigh of relief. They've been under pressure this whole second half. We always run the risk of losing a goal like that when you're throwing the bodies forward at Bolton have in the second 45 minutes. That wraps it up for Sunderland, no doubt about that.
The man who's been linked with a move away from Sunderland in recent months, Daryl Murphy, off the bench to relieve those nerves, and they were considerable. And for Bolton Wanderers, the agony for Gary Megson goes on away from home.
Well, it's made for exciting football. I've just not been able to hold on to the ball or get any kind of passing going at all this second half. Gary Megson must be thinking, what have I got to do to get a point? Battered them the second half, and a killer goal, and we're throwing bodies forward.
Once again, Sunderland find the ability to score a late goal. 7th time they've scored in the last 5 minutes of games this season. Murphy's might not have produced any extra points, but the previous 6 certainly did.
Well, they've had some huge performances today. Kieran Richardson, Kenwyne Jones through the middle for Sunderland has been fantastic. The 2 central defenders, Paul McShane in particular, has two just in front of them, making sure he protects his two central defenders, have all been terrific for Sunderland today.
It's going to be a happy New Year celebrations for Sunderland fans who've endured a lot, not only this season. They've been up, they've been down, but they're very much on the up under Roy Keane, stepping into 2008. His side had to defend stoically in the second half under terrific pressure from Bolton Wanderers. Murphy eased the pressure with the goal in stoppage time, after it had started so brightly for Sunderland with a goal for Kieran Richardson on his return, and then from Richardson's corner, Kenwyne Jones, who ran the line superbly, got his first goal in 9 appearances to make it 2-0. But El Hadji's free kick, which seemed to take a slight deflection off Paul McShane, made it 2-1. Bolton huffed and puffed in the second half, couldn't blow the Sunderland house down, and Murphy wrapped it up late on. Genuine relief around the Stadium of Light. Disappointment for Juve and Bolton Wanderers, still awaiting their first away win of the season. And for the Sunderland chairman, Niall Quinn, real genuine relief. Final score at the Stadium of Light: Sunderland 3, Bolton Wanderers 1.